Cobra Kai, Cobra Kai, Cobra Kai. At the bottom of F tier, we have Stingray and Bert. Like in my last tier list, these two are at the bottom because they just straight up have the worst feats in the series, and above them, but not too far behind, are Aisha and Mitch. Aisha's best feat is going 2-2 with Xander, which is better than anything Bert and Stingray have shown, but she literally does nothing else besides that. And as for Mitch, well, Mitch is a completely different story because this man straight up stinks. He's supposed to rival Chris but never actually beats him in a fair fight. He loses to pre-Cobra Kai training Kyler, and he loses to Bert in sparring. Granted, he was surprised by Bert, but that's not the point, bruh, he just sucks. Though Mitch does show off a particularly interesting feat, which was sparring with Hawk from season 4 and actually doing alright against him, which unironically should put him above Aisha due to her scaling ending by season 1. However, you could say this was sparring, and this makes sense since season 3 and 4 take place like back to back, which means Mitch by a significant margin should be below Kyler, and if you think Kyler can actually press Hawk, well, I don't know what to tell you. Point is, I think this Mitch feat really shouldn't be used, and also for honorable mentions, Mikey is probably here too, but his scaling is weird because he like beats up a dude that presses season 2 Hawk, but like Hawk beats up that dude anyway, so it's like they both just beat up a dude. That doesn't mean Mitch scales to Hawk in particular, it's just kind of weird to say. Now in E tier, we have all of the old gen Cobra kids. Unfortunately, Aisha and the others don't have anything to put them on the level of Karate Kid 1 Daniel, who basically everyone in Karate Kid 1 scales to. The order specifically would go Dutch, Tommy, Bobby, and then Johnny. We know that he wasn't at his best against Daniel, which is why Bobby performed way better against Daniel than him in the tournament, and this is consistent since it's implied so many times that Johnny is Kreese's best student. However, this man's scaling just goes so far as he's below season 1 Miguel and Robbie by a significant margin in skill, and the only reason Mikey or Mitch isn't above them is because of how vague their feats are. So I don't want to hear, "Hey Tyler, and why is Mitch below Johnny but Kreese is above Daniel?" That is why. Now in D tier, we have Doug, Kyler, and Kenny, and the reason they're all here is because they all have scaling above Karate Kid 1 Daniel. Firstly, Doug just straight up beats up Chris in season 3, along with Kyler by the end of season 4 beating him in the All Valley, and Kenny should be above Kyler based on him actually holding his own against a serious Robby. Maybe not hold his own, but better yet, do better against an opponent that's relative to Eli, who completely just massacred Kyler. Kenny just blocking these few blows from Robby would be better than anything Kyler has performed unironically. In C tier, we have Miguel from season 2, Hawk from season 3, and Piper. Miguel and Hawk being here makes sense since they are the two strongest students up to this point, with Miguel being the best student in Cobra Kai by season 2, and when Miguel falls, Hawk is basically set up to be the next one up. So these two should be relative, with maybe Hawk from season 3 arguably being better than Miguel from season 2, but I do agree that it is a little contentious. Whoever you think is above the other doesn't really matter. I personally think Hawk from season 3 should be a little bit stronger than Miguel from season 2, but again, it really doesn't matter because Piper slaps them both. Piper should beat up both of them due to her being able to tag season 4 Tori plus bullying Sam when she's only using Miyagi-Do, who, by the way, beat up a combination of Doug and Hawk a season earlier by herself, plus another season earlier scales to Robbie, who, while enraged, can press Miguel in the first place. It sounds super weird to think about, but the power cliffing after season 2 really does show, and the other characters begin to catch up. And no, season 2 Miguel is not above season 4 Miguel. Anyways, the next few tiers are going to be pretty much speed runs. I mean, it's pretty obvious who is going up next. In B tier, we have Tori and Robbie. They've had the best feats shown after learning both styles, with Robbie clearly being the top dog of Cobra Kai right now, but Tori is following behind him. Above both of them would be the one and only Mike Barnes, which I actually go over specifically with MJ on his channel, and long story short, we think Mike Barnes just sort of one-shots both of them due to the strength gap being too large. S tier is literally self-explanatory. Johnny beats up Kreese, which is why Johnny is above Kreese, and Kreese is at the bottom of S tier. Terry beats up Johnny, which is why Terry's above Johnny. Kreese and Terry are stronger in Karate Kid 3 due to them keeping up with their training and not being rusty, and since Prime Kreese does better against Miyagi than Terry does, he would be at the top of S tier. And in God tier is Kim Sun Young, my bad for butchering the name, but he is basically the strongest in the verse other than Miyagi according to the writers. And I swear, if one of you ask, "Oh, what about Kreese's teacher?" First of all, he wasn't even a part of Cobra Kai, and second of all, he lost to like young Kreese. He smells like cheese. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is my ranking for the Cobra Kai Dojo, and now that we have that ranking updated, plus we have the Miyagi-Do one, I genuinely want to know down in the comments section what ranking you guys want me to do next. I mean, what's there to do? Oh, I got it. We're going to be ranking every single SpongeBob episode next. Let's get it, boys.